What's going on, everybody in the VC? Craig here to shoot my first video of 2013. I had actually shot a video the day after Christmas, kind of showing some of my Christmas finds. Well, Christmas gifts, however you want to put it. But decided to not upload it. Figured I had some more stuff coming and just decided to start fresh and do a whole new one for 2013. So, glad I did. Got some killer finds. Christmas gifts, estate sale find, some Goodwill. Oddly enough, vinyl Goodwill doesn't really go hand in hand, and record store. So, first things first, drinking the cherry Coke, the VC cheer, and the VC wipe. Can't even drink something without getting a little. Anyway, what's playing in the background? Angel Witch, self-titled. Had this one on CD for, oh Jesus God, probably a good 6 years or so. Classic album. If you're into the new wave of British heavy metal, you need that. So, first things first, hope everybody's holidays were great. Had lots of them here with being in a relationship, and especially, you know, with the holidays. You end up going and seeing tons of family, so I think we spent a good 4 days of holiday, 4 or 5, I don't know, different sides of the family, stuff like that, so many celebrations to deal with, and then having to work in between all that was just hectic, so, but always find time to spend stuff. So, Christmas gifts. Got some really killer stuff. We'll actually kind of start this off with a non-vinyl related note. Best Christmas gift probably would be I proposed to my girlfriend, and she is now my fiance. So, wait for the congratulations down below. So obviously very exciting. Looks like this wall behind me might take a little bit longer to fill, even though I've only got like maybe 2 cubes left to fill. It might take me a little bit longer since I've got a wedding to save for now. But that won't be till 2014, so I might be able to get away with, you know, little bits here and there. It's all good. So, really exciting news there. So I got some really cool vinyl from my mother-in-law, well, future mother-in-law. Got some stuff basically she got for free from a friend that she works with, and just kind of picked out whatever, you know, she thought I might be needing or want, and she did pretty good. So let's kind of start off with Elvis TV special from 1968. I didn't actually have this. I'm not the hugest Elvis fan, like I don't need to own every little Elvis item, but by the way, this is a mono press. I don't need to own every Elvis album known to man, but there's a handful of ones that I've just been really wanting. I've got a good amount behind me. There's a few on the list that I still need to grab, but other than that, I'm not too worried. I'm a big fan, but not big enough to where I need to have everything on every format. If I find stuff, I'm happy with it. You see it so often that I try to pick it up on the cheap. An upgrade actually for me of Elvis's Christmas album. Blue mono label, RCA. And both of these are in great shape. The vinyl one is just, you know, dusty, need to be cleaned up. You know, some scuffing and whatnot, nothing big. Let's see here, Beatles, early years, parentheses 2. It's kind of a British import on the Phoenix label from 1981. Just, you know, some random older tracks, stuff like that. I really honestly haven't listened to this yet. Just haven't really had the time to spin it and kind of forgot I had it. But just a really cool kind of addition to the Beatles collection. If that wasn't enough, copy of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Now, I already had this. I have a original rainbow label pressing. And this is a Apple pressing, I believe. Yep. But this is actually in way better shape compared to mine. Mine has just been used and abused. So I rarely ever tried playing it even. And actually kind of cool. Came with the insert as well. Some water damage here on the bottom. But, I mean, for free, why not, you know? Mine didn't even have the insert, so this is a welcome addition into the collection. So, very excited about that. And another stereo pressing of Magical Mystery Tour. It's got the booklet and everything else, if I don't tear it out. That. I believe this is an OG Rainbow Capital label. Haven't really done my research on it. I already have a mono and a stereo press of this, but I gotta check my stereo copy and see if that's in better condition or not. That might be an upgrade. If not, no big deal. I'll go through and see which one is the best of the two. If I end up having another copy, I'll let everybody know if I have some trade stuff eventually. Hopefully as this year goes on, I might have a decent amount of duplicates of stuff that I might put out for trade and stuff like that. We'll see. And a kind of grail, if you will, here. Her friend that she got the vinyl from actually authored a book on Buddy Holly. Kind of cool. And gave me this. Buddy Holly, For the First Time Anywhere. It's a compilation, I believe, from 1983. Just kind of a bunch of like unreleased tracks and stuff like that. Rainbow MCA. Very, very cool to add this. And on top of that, there's a picture in here signed by 2 of the remaining Crickets. So that was pretty cool. She also gave me a copy of the book as well. So, never really been a huge Buddy Holly fan. I am a fan. I do have a few albums, but just never really got that heavy into Buddy Holly. So, with that and the other stuff, it's kind of been bringing me back. And when I get in those 50s moods and stuff like that, and really wanting to listen to more early rock and the singer-songwriter stuff like that, the beginnings, I'll definitely spin Buddy Holly. My grandfather, who passed away last year, was actually a huge Buddy Holly fan, so kind of carry on the tradition in the family. So, if that wasn't enough, my fiance also got me some really cool vinyl as well. She felt compelled that she had to top her mother, so, and she did. I mean, totally awesome. If anybody watched my videos, if you're new to the channel, if you followed any of my videos from over the summer, I believe, I showed a sealed Japanese original press of Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl that I got from a buddy of mine who owns a used media store that I shop at all the time. And he also had some other stuff that he was trying to see if I wanted, showed me and everything, and I passed on him at the time because I just didn't have the money for both of them because it was a little much. Not a whole hell of a lot. Really, it was actually a great deal, but I just couldn't justify them when I already have these albums. But Japanese imports in fucking, like, dead mint condition, man, hard to pass up. But he wouldn't sell them to anybody else except for me. He just kept them in the back. Well, my fiance, being the lovely girl she is, went and grabbed them for me without me knowing. And my buddy never said a word. Kept his word. Lips sealed. Japanese import copy of Rubber Soul. Now the thing I love about this, not only is it in amazing condition, also the original British track listing, which I am a huge fan of this album. So to listen to it in that form, sick. And if that wasn't enough, Let It Be. Oh yeah. Beautiful shape on both of these. I won't say how much she paid, but we'll say it's still it's under $100, but still way more than she needed to spend. That just fucking blew my mind. I about lost it. I'm like, holy shit! Import, Beatles, Japanese, sweet. So very cool to have some, import stuff. I don't buy a lot because it's really fucking pricey to buy import stuff, and it's just not really kind of up my alley. I don't need to have an import pressing of an album that I already have 2 copies of or some shit. But to get those as a gift, bar none, I'll take them. Love them. Also got a vinyl flat as well. I think I was talking about that in my last few videos. My dad got me a vinyl flat, and I've been just on a vinyl flattening spree. I think I only had like maybe a dozen, if that. that were warped, a few really severe ones, and I've been able to save a few, so I've been very excited. Alright, on to the first finds of 2013. And 2013 has already been good to me. We're only 7 days into it. We're a week into the new year, and I've already got some really cool finds. So hopefully that's a sign of great things to come. First one up, an estate sale I went to last week. Don't really do a lot of stuff before I go into work just because I'm tired as fuck and I'm lazy and I don't go to bed till like 2, 3 in the morning and I have to get back up at 9. So I really don't try to hit up any places before I go into work. But there was an estate sale that was in the subdivision right across from where I work. And so I figured I'd hit it up, you know, just leave the house a few minutes early. Went over there because I found the ad for it online and saw a picture with some vinyl, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go. Because most of these estate sales, they're not gonna charge that much for vinyl, and you might find some really cool shit. Well, I did, but I had to pay a little bit more than I wanted to. Saying that, but yet, it was still really cheap. But, so I went, looked at the vinyl, and I mean, there was probably only like 20 albums, if that, and it was just like Goodwill fodder, like just crap. Good condition, but just crap. I did not want it. Did not. And that's the thing about some of these estate sales I've went to. I think I've only went to a few, but most of the time you're just getting crap. I got lucky. My first ever one, I think I found like maybe 6, 7 albums, something like that. And I mean, that was pure luck out of going through like big boxes, just all over this garage. Like a 2-stall garage, there were boxes everywhere of vinyl, and I think I only found maybe 5 or 6 that were worth me taking home. But, got lucky at this one. So, looked at the vinyl, and didn't really see anything, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm at least gonna walk around the house, see if I find anything. And ended up scoring a couple of really cool things. I did get some cassettes. I will save those for my cassette video, which I'll probably do tomorrow. Because I got a really cool package coming in the mail and I want to save it for all of those. So that, well, vinyl first. I'm getting off track here. So I found this sitting off in a corner somewhere. Really random to put that away from the rest of the vinyl, but $6. Beautiful shape. Janis Joplin, self-titled. Original booklet. I don't want to crack this open too far. Actually, it doesn't feel like it's been cracked open that much. A little bit of creasing here on the cover, but the vinyl is in beautiful shape. It's very, very exciting. Actually, let's see it here. There's a little advertisement for their other albums, which I'm only missing one of those. Now we'll kind of talk. This is a double record set. One of the first album being the soundtrack to the film, Janis. So you got kind of, you know, interview stuff, like basically stuff that was in the film. So you've got her kind of talking a little bit. There's an interview, you know, the Albert Hall interview, her interview with Dick Cavett, her interview when she was at her high school reunion. And then you just got, you know, other tracks that are from the film. And then the other album is a bunch of early performances and stuff like that. Basically stuff that was, you know, recorded in the early 60s before she got together with Big Brother and stuff like that. So, a very, very welcome addition to the Janis Joplin collection. My fiance was very excited about that. She's a huge Janis fan. So, found that. I was like, okay, alright. And then off in another corner, just across from it, there was a bunch of cassettes and CDs. Cassettes were $1 a piece, CDs were $3 a piece. And I picked this one. Serpent is Rising by Styx. Now, here's something that's really cool. For anybody out there who's not really too familiar, these are not available as standalone albums anymore as far as I know. They got repackaged. The 4 wooden nickel albums they had, so Self-Titled 2, Serpent, and Man of Miracles, were all re-released, excuse me, later, I want to say a few years ago, on a double disc set that combined them all together. So you really can't find standalone copies of these anymore. If you do, it's going to be used somewhere. And also to find one with the original cover. Don't see that all that often, because even the repackaged stuff doesn't have original covers. Anybody out there who bought Styx's first albums probably ended up getting them when they were re-released on RCA with the cartoonish covers, which I think are bullshit. I'm just not a fan. So, to find this on CD, very, very excited. I have this original wooden nickel press on vinyl. When I found that? Chicago, baby. You go to Chicago, you'll find tons of Styx. Not lying at all. Those people, they love their hometown heroes. And quick little fact in there, actually had an aunt and uncle who lived down the street from where they recorded all their major later 70s, early 80s albums. Love being from Chicago. Well, me not personally, but having a bunch of families from Chicago. Get some Styx stories in there. Really cool. So, on to Goodwill finds. Now, Goodwill. Almost no luck with vinyl. I know almost all of us can speak for that. Well, except for fucking David, Sequoia Flame. That motherfucker, he gets lucky. I know he digs at Goodwill like every day, practically. So, he's totally earned it. Totally earned it. But for me, I'm at Goodwill probably about once a week, give or take. Sometimes I try to make a second trip, but I gotta hit up like 7 Goodwills, so really, really hard to do that. So finding vinyl at Goodwill is almost just never happens. I've had maybe, this would be the 3rd time I think that I've ever bought vinyl from Goodwill. Just never really get lucky. Nobody just drops off their, awesome collection of shit all that often. Occasionally you get lucky. I think I picked up back in September. I don't think I showed them actually, which is kind of, I want to pull them out right now. You know what? I'll pull them out right now. While I've got you. Stay tuned. While I've got you. While I trip over shit. Let's see here. Where have we got him? Oh, there it is. Alright, anyway. Now that I have found them and tripped over myself, let's get into these. I actually found a collection of a bunch of import punk and hardcore stuff, like a bunch of 7 inches and a few full lengths. Almost all of it I went and I sold, kind of put up on Discogs, and then I took in to get some store credit at one of the stores I shop at. And kept a couple of them. Why? Because I kept the really good ones. Demos Everywhere by 13th Floor Elevators. This is kind of a bootleg of a bunch of live recordings and stuff like that that came out, I want to say, this is all stuff from '66, so it was before Psychedelic Sounds. So very cool. I'll mind you, these were a quarter apiece. Album by Public Image Limited. This one and the 13th Floor Elevators were both ones that were warped. So I couldn't pass them up for a quarter, but thank you to the vinyl flat, no longer warped. And here was the grail that I could not fucking believe when I picked it up. And then I got it home and I was like, oh my god, this album is even better than I expected, because I had never actually heard the album before, but I knew the album itself. Discharge. Hear nothing, see nothing, say nothing. Take it out of this shit box. Fucking plastic Sleeto got it in. I can't believe I've never shown this. Kind of forgot about it. But yeah. Discharge. If you're a fan of if you're a punk hardcore fan, whatever, dude, Discharge is where it's at, man. I don't have a lot of like punk and hardcore, but Discharge is a shit. So anyway, Goodwill finds. So I go into the same Goodwill where I got those, and just kind of putzing around. Couldn't really find any cassettes, you know, no good equipment. So I also collect, you know, fucking equipment too. Nothing really there. I check out the vinyl, and you know, it looked like there was some kind of new stuff. And this is the first one I found. Ben by Michael Jackson. Very cool on the Motown label. And not in bad shape either. I would have picked it up regardless if it really was kind of a little bit more beat up. But great shape for a quarter. And then just kind of going through a lot of stuff. They only had, I think it was only about like 20 or 30 that were newer that were in there. The other stuff I just kind of left behind because it was stuff I either had or stuff I didn't want. And then the rest of it was all the Goodwill bullshit that you always see. A possible upgrade copy of Armed Forces by Elvis Costello and the Attractions. Now, anybody who watched my videos about a year ago, you know I picked this up in the dollar bin. But mine has a corner cut and the vinyl. I think they might be both in about the same shape, so I gotta kind of check and just see. One of them might end up going in the trade pile. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. Don't worry. An upgrade copy for me of Billion Dollar Babies. I actually had an original Green Warner Brothers label pressing, but that thing beat to shit. Didn't have the original insert, and didn't have what this one has. The dollar bill, baby. Oh yeah. So original insert, postcard kind of things, you know, all intact, and dollar bill intact. And this is a later Palm Tree Warner pressing. Very, very glad to have that. Now these next two, I was blown away. This first one, covers definitely seen better days, but the vinyl is in great, great shape. Dressed to Kill by Kiss. Now this, out of all of the first 3 studio albums, you know, pre-Alive, so you got self-titled, Hotter Than Hell, Dressed to Kill, this is my favorite. Absolutely love this album. So, like I said, vinyl's in great shape. So this will definitely hold out until I get a better cup. You just don't see Kiss all that often around here, and when you do, it can get pretty pricey for the, you know, for something in really good condition. So, and this one, cover's got a little wear to it, but the vinyl's in amazing shape, and I could not believe I found this at a fucking Goodwill. Autobahn by Kraftwerk. Finally, I get some Kraftwerk in the collection. Very, very exciting. And plays great too, just some minor scuffing and kind of dirty, but cleaned it right up. Plays beautifully. I was so stoked to get this one in the collection. I'm like, fucking Kraftwerk. Hell yeah. Love it. So, that would be the Goodwill finds. And I also have I had a couple cassette buys as well from Goodwill, and I also got a new cassette deck as well. You would think, the format that I have about the least of, well, 8-tracks being the least, cassettes being the next step up, I don't even have, I think I'm under the 1,000 mark for cassettes, and I've got like 6 cassette players. Fuck. I've got, the most I have is vinyl, that's nearing 2,000, I've only got 2 turntables. You would think, maybe I'd have more, but you know what, when I find a killer deck, I can't pass it up. And if one breaks, I have a backup, which is what this new deck. If anybody wants to do some research, if you're that curious on what kind of deck I got, it's a Techniques M228X. So, really nice shape. So, got it for $5. Oh yeah. So that's kind of, that's in the second listening room. Kind of my main deck right now, since my other deck, which I don't think I've ever shown in a video before, you guys would have no clue what I'm talking about. And I'll leave that as a surprise. Needs new belts and took a shit last week, so this one's kind of my replacement one for now in there until I get my main cassette deck going. So, there you go. Last find, the record store find. Store I don't normally hit up, purely because the prices are just ridiculous, and the owner and I are, you know, really cool. So, you know, he kind of apologized, you know, for the prices and stuff, because I've been shopping there since the mid-90s, and he was like, dude, I'm really sorry about the prices. I know they used to be really cheap back in the day. And I'm like, well, the demand has gone up, you know, and the demographic has changed. You know, there really wasn't anybody shopping for vinyl when I was buying vinyl back, you know, 97, 98, you know. So the prices were really cheap, and you could get some really great stuff for next to nothing. So, you know, no big deal. I ended up going in there, just kind of looking around. Found a couple of things I wanted, but I ended up putting them back because I saw this and had to get it. Sunday's reissue of Back in the USA by the MC5. I have not seen this out in the wild ever. I've been holding out for an OG for years, and I've never seen one. So, I actually did not know that the Sunday's edition was still available. And I actually went on the website and couldn't find it, so I don't know how the hell he had a copy or what, but 24 bucks. Brand spanking new. And I had actually never heard this album before. Same with when I bought Sunday's reissue of High Time about a month or so ago. I had never heard it before. I'm fucking amazed. The only album I'd ever heard was Kick Out the Jams, which I still don't have on vinyl. But stay tuned, that could change. You never know. So very, very excited about that one. Such a great album. If you don't have it, man, seriously, try to locate yourself a copy. Locate any MC5, you will not be disappointed. Yeah, that pretty much does it for the vinyl. I know this kind of ran a little bit long, but when do my videos not run long? Yeah, that's true. So, hope everybody is doing well. Thank you to all of my subscribers, new and old. I will be back tomorrow to do a cassette update. Got some killer shit coming on that. Eventually I'll be doing a music room tour, so be prepared. Lots of changes from the last one. I've been wanting to shoot an update for a while, but every time I get ready to shoot one, something, you know, happens to where I get some new equipment in and I gotta integrate that, or just the video's not right, you know. I'm very particular. And I also need to do my contest winner for the contest I did back in December. So, we'll try to get to all those, you know, this week, hopefully in the next day or so. So, hopefully everybody, you know, enjoys that. Hope you enjoyed this one. So, everybody take care, and I will see you again in the next video. Peace.